Hello guys, hopefully the videos here will work a little better than class last time, although I'm hopeful we could do Zoom and still have some good interactions and work better than the Canvas conferences. Alright, let's take a look, quick review from last time. We kind of concluded class by talking about the definition of a fraction, and we used this idea and talked about how it's important to consider the whole. What is the whole unit? And then we said, how do you think of a fraction? And I don't remember who, but I think somebody said, if we have a fraction, it typically just means that we take the whole, we cut it into B parts, and we shade A of them. So if we have 3/4, the bottom number tells me we should cut this into 4 parts, and then we shade 3 of them, 3/4, right? And that's fine, but I'd like to encourage you to tweak your thinking just a little bit. Instead of thinking, we're still going to divide the whole into B pieces, but instead of thinking about shading a certain number of those pieces, we're going to say we have A pieces total. And this works better if we have something like the number 5/4. If we have the number 5/4, now our whole is this rectangle. The size of my pieces is told by the denominator, by B. So I'm going to cut the whole into 4 parts, and this is the size of my piece. I didn't need 5 of those, so I could get 4 out of a whole, but then I need a second whole to get that 5th one. And that's kind of what we're going to build on. We're just going to look at some more word problems and just try to give you some time to think about these ideas and kind of wrestle with what is the whole and what do I have? Do I have maybe the part? Do I have the whole? Do I have several wholes? Because it's important what your whole is. In this case, the whole was a bar, but what if we made the whole actually 2 bars? So let's say I have 2 candy bars and I eat 5/8 of the candy bars that I bought. Well, now both candy bars are the whole, and so if I ate 5/8, that means I'm chopping the whole into 8 parts. Do you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts here? And if I ate 5/8, that would be 1 and another quarter of a candy bar. So hopefully that's not too confusing, but helps you see the difference. The blue here is 5/4 of a candy bar. Here is 5/8 of 2 candy bars. All right, let's take a look at problem number 3. This is on class activity 2B. It says the yellow hexagon pattern tile is 2/3 of the area of a pattern tile design. Use pattern tiles to make what could be the design. All right, so first you have to understand what it's saying, and that's maybe a little tricky. So this is 2/3 of the area of another design. So we've got something going on over here, and that is the whole. Actually, I'm gonna do this a little differently. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna do this differently. The yellow pattern tile is 2/3 of the design. The design, whatever that is over here, do you see that this is the whole? And so we don't know what that is. We have to come up with what that could have been. All right, so now pause the video and take a few minutes, try this out on your own. All right, hopefully you've gotten it. If so, congratulations. If not, here is the check. So I don't know what this whole looks like over here, but this 2/3 is important. And we're going to go back to our idea of fractions. So A, the top number, is the number of pieces we have. 3 is the size of the piece. So we have to cut the whole into 3 pieces. Now I don't really know what this looks like. I'm just going to kind of do my circle. That's not a good idea. So I'm going to cut this into thirds. And then I'm going to take 2 of them over here. So that means I have 2 pieces here. Now, if you look at this, if I cut this just in half here, you see I have 2 pieces. So what must that whole look like? It must be 2 of these yellow pieces plus a third piece to get 3/3. And so I'm not sure if this is going to do what I want it to do or not. Yeah, it just picked up the lines. Okay. I'm going to try one other thing here. Sorry for the delay. There we go. Ooh. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Well, I'll just draw it from here. So if this is 2/3, so this is 2 parts, and these are each a third of the original design, then we need 3/3 to get the original design. So there's a lot of ways you could draw this. I'm just going to put another trapezoid down here. And so now this could be the original design. Hopefully that's helpful. I now have 3/3, and then this is 2/3 of the design. And so this could be my original design. All right, excellent. Let's take a look at the next one. It says, what if the yellow hexagon is 3 halves of the area of another design? I think it's going to be helpful to have a couple of these. All right, so this is now 3 halves of the design. The design is the whole in this case. And so I don't know what this design looks like, but I know I need to take that design and I need to cut it into how many parts? Hopefully you said 2 parts, right? You see this? 2 parts? So whatever this is, question mark. Oops, wrong button. Nope. Design. Cut the whole, the design, cut into 2 parts. And then we need 3 of those parts, the numerator, up here. So how do we get 3 parts from this? Well, we have to cut this into thirds. So this is where it gets a little tricky. Down here, I was talking about cutting the original design into 2 parts, but since we have 3 pieces here, we need to cut this into thirds. So this becomes the new whole. When I'm saying thirds, I'm saying a third of the yellow pattern tile instead of half of the original design. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this into thirds. If you haven't worked with pattern tiles, it might be helpful for you to cut those out that I emailed about. And it's an easy way to cut it into thirds is like this. You can see they're all the same size. So now this is 3 halves of the design. So what was the original design? Well, the original design is just, it's not letting me move that. I don't want to change the size, sorry. Copy, paste. I'll get this smoothed out, guys. Oh my, I don't need that at all. I'm not going to use it at all. I just need 2 of these rhombuses, 2 of the rhombi, and so I'm just going to freehand it. And actually, if you have the pattern tiles, a lot of times the rhombuses are blue. And so this is the original design. Okay, so let's talk through that real quick here. Yellow hexagon, this one, 3 halves of another design. So we have the original design. We didn't know what it looked like, but we cut it into 2 parts, and then we took 3 of those. So that meant we had to divide this into thirds. So we broke this into thirds. This then is 1/3 of the yellow hexagon, but it's 1/2 of the original design. If one of those is a half of the original design, then we know the actual original design must be 2 of those. Hopefully that's helpful, and we'll keep working with fractions here. Thanks, have a great day.